Hi, everybody. Dan DeFedericis of Saratoga Report, and I am here with somebody new to Saratoga Report, Ann Costantino, a middle school science and math teacher at Saratoga Central Catholic, sometimes locally called Spa Catholic, of course. Ms. Costantino, how are you doing this somewhat warm day?
I know. I'm great, Dan. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. How long have you been at Saratoga Central Catholic?
I was hired in 2018.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're somewhat new, I guess, that
Yeah.
in
Yep.
the teaching world. Oh, great. And so I wanted to talk to you. You know, in the past, I've talked to some other people from Saratoga Central Catholic. I've talked to Coach Lamburn about the baseball team. We covered sports. I talked to some parents about the clubs and the many opportunities between the sports and the clubs that students can find their niche because there's so many opportunities there. I talked to the 9-to-1 student to teacher ratio. And what I have not talked so directly about was the education itself, and that's what I'd love to talk to you about today. And we chatted a little bit before we started recording today, and you had some really great thoughts on your view of the education there. More than your view, because I think you cited the motto there. Could you kind of tell, if you were talking to a parent, what would you tell them generally about the education at Saratoga Central Catholic?
Sure. Yeah. So if you look on our website, you will see Saratoga Central Catholic, preparation for college and values for life. And while our ensuring academic success is absolutely the main priority of all of the faculty here, um, guiding our students through emotional and social growth is also very important.
Yeah, great. And you talked about a little bit earlier about teaching the whole child.
Yep.
Could you expand on that comment or that term?
Sure. You never know, Dan, what a child is bringing with them emotionally or socially from home. They come into the classroom and we hit the ground running and books are open and the lesson begins. But social and emotional relationships affect learning. Negative emotions, fear of failure, and anxiety, which we have seen post COVID really increase. And those emotions really reduce the brain's capacity to process information. So we have set into place through guidance, which is led by our wonderful Nicole Mulkern, and Catapult Learning, which is also supplementing what Nicole offers, really this opportunity to pull in our middle school students into small session groups with Mrs. Mulkern, where they feel safe and supported and discuss things like confidence building, um, how stress affects their ability to learn. And she pulls them in during their lunch period, and you can really see the benefit. Some of them come out feeling relieved that something has been shared in confidence. And we try and just really build off of that here in the classroom and um, just really kind of try and form this little family where the students really feel safe and supported um, in every day.
Great. And I want to kind of follow up with that. With I think you may know my daughters go to St. Clement's, and one thing I like about St. Clement's, and I suspect it's true about Saratoga Central Catholic, but I'll ask you to confirm that, is the all the teachers in the school, kindergarten through sixth grade, they know who my two daughters are, and they know things about them. In a good way that they're able to help them and their sensitivities and so forth. They're all passing through the middle school. Well, most of them are passing through the middle school before they get to the high school. I suspect you and the other teachers know every or just about every student there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and usually their siblings
Oh,
who've come through the pipe, and their parents. I mean, I teach some of my dear friends' children, so my investment in the daily education is just different. It just is. There's a bigger responsibility. Um, but I was just speaking with Nicole Mulkern before I spoke with you, and I do pop over and say, "Hey, I've noticed XYZ with Tani." She'll say, "Absolutely, so did I." And so it's where I think in a bigger system, those types of conversations happen via email. They have to be documented, shared. We can slip in and out of each other's classrooms. We're all on the same page, and we're really come together collectively to support whatever the needs are of that individual student. And like you said, because we are such a small, nurturing environment.
Yes, and we were talking about a young student who gave us a tour when my family was there about a month and a half ago, and you commented how you have seen how much she's grown and built confidence in a short time. You must see that with students all the time. Do you want to generally comment or specifically comment on
Sure.
that?
Yeah, I think, self-esteem, it really can be taught. And I think if you provide an environment where, again, students feel supported, they feel like they're in a trusting environment, um, it's amazing the growth how that can shape a child. We here in the middle school will start every single class, so not just every day, every single class with intentions. And so in the beginning of the year, it's always kind of tricky because everyone's still shy and no one really knows each other. But you always have that one, that will volunteer to be the first. And they come up to the class and they lead the class while I quickly do attendance. And we start the day with intentions. And these kids, I don't know if you can see, actually, I have an intention board here, Dan,
Ah,
that's filled. And it's an opportunity to think about someone other than yourself, to keep them in your thoughts. Kids pray for kids at other schools, for family members, people in war-torn countries, pets. But the acts of kindness, they're contagious. Um, and what you see kids wanting to do more with those acts of kindness. And so we end up with these monthly charity events. So whether we're raising money for cancer, Molly Wilmot here, or are bringing in socks to donate to the homeless shelter, or we're bringing in coats for kids, those those events need to be run by students. Ideally, it's supported with teachers, but the concept comes from the kids. So these acts of kindness go from your thoughts to your words to your actions. And these kids, selfishly, I guess, you feel good for being kind, and it empowers them. And I've seen it with the student you're speaking with. I've seen her growth from 6th grade to 9th grade is tremendous, and we're so proud of her, and she's proud of herself, which, what else can you ask for?
well, that's great, and this is of course sponsored content here on Saratoga Report. But I told you off camera that when I see these students, whether it's on Facebook, you got a great Facebook page, or in person, and I've seen both. It's like I want my daughters to be like these students. I want them to hang with these students. I want them to be friends with these students. I want them to learn from these students. And that's to me what Saratoga Catholic has. To Saratoga Catholic has a lot of things going for it, but that's the first thing as a parent that jumps out at me is I would be so comfortable knowing that my daughters are going to school with those students, and that says it all to me as a parent.
Yeah, I can completely relate. Both of my children came through this school,
Ah,
and so I can completely relate to what you're saying here, for sure.
and one term you said to me, what I'd like to finish up with this, and you said it. I think you did elaborate on it without maybe quoting the term, but you used the term really valued. Anything more you want to say on that?
Um, well, just that I think really, I mean, you could be valued at a larger school, absolutely. I'm not certainly not saying that, but we get the opportunity to know these students and their families. Moms and dads are in the cafeteria volunteering for a hot lunch. So the other day, I said to one of the moms in the cafeteria, actually, I said, "Oh, happy birthday, by the way." And she said, "How did you know it was my birthday?" I said, "Well, your son prayed for you today during intentions." And so we're not really, we're not doing anything new here, but I believe we're supporting what is coming from the home in the classroom and really helping to fully develop the whole child. Yes, I can't emphasize enough, academics is the most important thing here, but having a child that can graduate, that is a whole person, that has gratitude, that child has character, and that child has success academically is really what we are trying to do here at Spa Catholic.
Wow, that's powerful stuff. Thank you so much, Ms. Costantino. Folks, again, Saratoga Central Catholic has tours available. You can call for a tour. You can go on the website and contact them through there. And I recommend you do that. If you're not sure exactly where you'd like your child to go next year, absolutely consider Saratoga Central Catholic. Thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate it.
Sounds great. Thanks, Dan. Take care.
Take care.